As much as we adore Daniel Craig's performance as 007, his time as James Bond is now finished. The question is, who will be the next James Bond? Is the new James Bond sequel coming out soon? This is circulated all over the internet, and people have been yearning for it for a long time, but the question remains still unanswered. Predictions and speculation are plentiful, but the producers have revealed nothing concrete. Fans want to know. In this video, we'll talk about all the actors that could be likely to play. Excited? Stay with us as we go through some interesting names. And if you're new to the channel, please click on the subscribe button. One small click for you, but a huge deal for us. Thanks! James Bond, better known as Agent 007, has been a culture icon since British novelist Ian Fleming introduced him in 1953's Casino Royale. Initially conceived as a Cold War-era spy, Bond was a highly skilled operative for MI6, always armed with the latest gadgets and taking down Soviet agents and international criminals alike. With a passion for gambling, a love of vodka martinis, and the loyalty to the British crown, Bond's charm, style, and daring escapades have defined him for generations. After the release of Dr. No in 1962, the film series became one of the most successful franchises ever, continuing even after Fleming's death with new writers and fresh takes. Over the decades, James Bond has been portrayed by several iconic actors, from Sean Connery in the 1960s to Roger Moore in the 70s and 80s, and Pierce Brosnan in the 90s. Throughout these portrayals, Bond remained ageless, adapting to the times while keeping his signature style intact. However, when Daniel Craig took on the role in the 2006's Casino Royale, Bond's story was rebooted, reimagined him as a post-Cold War hero born in 1968. This new take also reflected a shift in social attitudes, softening some of Bond's traits. With the Broccoli family still in control of the franchise, the future of 007 remains in good hands. But who will they choose to step into the shoes of this legendary spy next, as Daniel Craig exits the role of James Bond after No Time to Die? A speculation is rife over the years, with big names like Idris Elba, Henry Cavill, Tom Hardy, and Michael Fassbender being fan favorites to take up the mantle. However, if history has taught us anything, the Bond producers rarely go for the obvious Hollywood superstar. When Craig was cast in 2006, he wasn't a household name, but he had the acting chops and an edge that caught producer Barbara Broccoli's eye. Much like Craig's path to Bond, we may see a lesser-known but equally talented actor step into the tuxedo next. Henry Cavill. Henry has long been a favorite for the role of James Bond. With his square jaw, broad shoulders, and a classic good looks, he embodies the physical traits of 007. Cavill auditioned for the role back in 2005 at just 22 years old, narrowly losing out to Daniel Craig. According to Casino Royale director Martin Campbell, Cavill gave an excellent audition and looked the part, but was considered too young at the time. Now, after iconic roles as Superman and Geralt in The Witcher, and with his schedule wide open, Cavill seems perfectly poised for the role. But with Bond producers seeking a reinvention of the character and a younger actor in his 30s, is Cavill's age and history with the franchise a disadvantage? Could Cavill still be the next 007, or has the opportunity passed him by?
What their plans are.
Well, I mean, you're playing the guy who Bond is based on.
Glynn-Carney. Glynn-Carney made a strong impression in the final episodes of House of the Dragon Season 1, stepping into the role of Heughan, the unpredictable new king of Westeros. With Season 2 promising to showcase more of his talents, Glynn-Carney has proven he can command the screen, delivering anything from quiet frustration to explosive outbursts with ease. His dynamic presence and ability to switch between moods makes him an exciting talent to watch. But is he ready to take on the mantle of James Bond? While his career has shown great promise, we've yet to see Glynn-Carney in a role that fully showcases his potential as the next 007. Could he be the fresh face the franchise is looking for? Aaron Taylor Johnson. Aaron has emerged as a top contender for the role of James Bond, thanks to his impressive action-packed filmography, including Kick-Ass, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Godzilla, Tenet, and Bullet Train. With his proven stunt abilities and emotional depth, showcasing his breakthrough role as John Lennon in Nowhere Boy, Taylor Johnson has caught the eye of Bond producers. Reports suggest that after a secret screen test at Pinewood Studios, he seriously impressed Barbara Broccoli and the team, making him a frontrunner for the role. At 33, he fits the 30-something profile the producers are said to be seeking. But is he too young for the more grizzled, worn-down Bond we've seen in recent years?
It's a celebration, you know?
So grab a martini. Shaken, not stirred, Aaron. A British report is claiming he was offered the gig after he secretly screen tested with Bond producer Barbara Broccoli. And it went, quote, very well.
Idris Elba. Idris's name has long been associated with the role of James Bond, and it's easy to see why. Tall, magnetic, and undeniably charismatic, Elba embodies everything we've come to expect from 007. Even Barbara Broccoli, the producer behind the Bond franchise, confirmed that Elba has been part of the conversation for the role. But while Elba checks all the boxes, his age, now 51, has raised questions about whether the opportunity has passed. Elba himself has expressed mixed feelings, stating that playing Bond is not a goal for his career, though he acknowledges the public's desire to see him in the role. So, while the world seems eager for Elba to become Britain's top secret agent, is the timing right?
Idris Elba is in contention to be the next James Bond. Having long been touted to be the first black 007, the actor is confirmed to be part of the conversation for the new iteration of the famous British spy.
Tom Hiddleston. Hiddleston has already proven his chops as a suave, sophisticated spy, wowing audiences and critics alike as Jonathan Pine in the BBC's The Night Manager. His portrayal in the hit series felt like an audition for Bond. He's tall, charming, impeccably dressed, and already has a massive fan base from his role as Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But does that make him the ideal candidate for 007? Why not? Hiddleston has already conquered the world of espionage on screen and may not be eager to repeat himself. Known for choosing unconventional roles as seen in High Rise, he might hesitate to commit to a decade-long franchise like Bond. Plus, his moment for Bond speculation peaked around 2016 and quickly fizzled out. And let's not forget, Bond producer Barbara Broccoli reportedly called him too posh for the role. Christian Bale. Bale is no stranger to playing rich, tuxedo-clad characters with complex personas, from Patrick Bateman to Bruce Wayne. With his impressive action credentials and a knack for high-stake roles, Bale seems like a natural fit for James Bond. Though he might be hesitant to dive into another franchise, the high-tech gadgets of Bond's Q branch would align perfectly with his experience as Batman. Imagine Bale holding a martini while taking down villains seems as effortless as him slipping into a Tom Ford suit. Sam Heughan, best known for his role in Amazon Prime's Outlander, is an intriguing and unexpected candidate for the next James Bond. Unlike the more familiar faces of Hardy and Hiddleston, Heughan represents a fresh but relatively unknown option, much like Daniel Craig did before landing the Bond role, at a similar age to Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan when they were cast. Heughan's Scottish heritage also pays homage to Sean Connery, the most iconic Bond. Bond doesn't need to be a Hollywood megastar. The role itself has the power to elevate an actor. Heughan's performance as a charming soldier in Outlander, alongside his action roles in Bloodshot and The Spy Who Dumped Me, shows he has the talent for the part. A 2020 Radio Times poll revealed Heughan as a fan favorite for Bond, demonstrating strong support from dedicated viewers. But could Heughan's relatively anonymity be a disadvantage? With studio execs often favoring more recognizable names, Heughan might be considered too safe a choice. As the search for the next Bond continues, only time will tell if Heughan will emerge as the new 007. Tom Hardy. Could Hardy be the next James Bond? It's possible, but far from certain. While he's a fan favorite and fits the rugged, gritty style of Daniel Craig's Bond, there are some obstacles. Hardy is in his mid-40s, the same age Craig was during his fourth Bond film, Spectre, which might make him less appealing to producers looking for someone younger. Plus, Hardy's immense fame could work against him, as the Bond franchise often prefers lesser-known actors. Despite the rumors, nothing is confirmed. But we have seen Hardy in some great spy action movies in the past, like in This Means War. Michael Fassbender. Fassbender's new lead role in George Clooney's upcoming spy thriller series, The Agency, might just close the door on him ever becoming the next James Bond. In The Agency, a remake of the French drama The Bureau, Fassbender plays Martin, a CIA agent forced out of undercover life and back into action in London. While fans have long speculated about him stepping into Bond's shoes, Fassbender has previously said he isn't interested in the role. With the agency being so similar to the 007 franchise, it seems like the perfect Bond alternative. Plus, it may lead producers to see him as too closely tied to the spy genre to be a future Bond contender. And there you have it, our rundown of potential candidates for the next James Bond. From established stars to fresh faces, each contender brings something unique to the table. Choosing for the next 007 is more exciting than ever. Will it be someone familiar, like Henry Cavill or Idris Elba? Or with a new name like Sam Heughan or Tom Glynn-Carney? Surprise us all. One thing's for sure, whoever steps into these iconic shoes will have big expectations to live up to. Let us know in the comments who you think should be the next Bond. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video was made by movie fans for movie fans.